Liebelt, how are you doing today? It's so good to have you join in. It is Thursday, right before Memorial Day weekend, you guys. Oh my stars, like where is the time going? It's kind of like in Minnesota, which is where I'm from here. It's kind of like you feel the speeding up of time. I love the beginning of summer, Okay, so how you doing? It's so good to see you guys. Every day we do this Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We talk about insulin resistance. I actually, basically, I come from a very authentic position in life where I'm Italian. My dad died of type 2 diabetes when he was only 63 years old. I had somebody ask this morning, are your supplement recommendations only for women? Heck no. Heck no. It's just that the Facebook group, you guys, is Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. It's just so that we can have our own little corner of the universe, so to speak. And every month in there, we do a 5-day challenge. Super amazing. We have another one coming up on June 2nd. I'll go live every day, Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, let's dive into today. So today I wanted to do, I wrote down 10 shocking signs, of insulin resistance that you've never, and then I put maybe, because maybe you've heard of some of them, but different signs that you may not know are linked to your blood sugar. And it's very interesting. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. Jump on in. If at any time you feel like this is information that you have a friend, a sister-in-law, a daughter-in-law, somebody that needs to hear this information, share it out. It's so important as we collectively take back our health and exit the matrix or avoid it. That's what I did. It makes such a big difference. You guys, I spent literally my entire life paying zero attention. I should have been the one to pay the most attention. My entire life was surrounded with type 2 diabetes from my dad. I was gestational with my first baby. I should have been paying attention and I didn't. So I am here to give you hope and encouragement because it wasn't until almost my 50s that I finally paid attention. And then what I started to study and understand was this. I just bunked that, sorry. When your insulin is high, you cannot lose weight. When your liver is tired and toxic, you cannot lose weight. That's just the tip of the iceberg, but that was the one that was the most important to me. So maybe that's where we start with you, because all of the other fallout can get really serious and kind of dire. I mean, my dad died at 63. And he was maybe just months away from having an amputation of maybe a toe or something. I digress. So let's share this out because this is how I lost 3 sizes in my 50s. This is how I avoided type 2 diabetes. This is how I'm 60 and I'm not on any meds. This is how I wake up and I don't ache and I have energy and I can get down on the floor with my grandbabies. Those are the things that are important to me. What's important to you? You have to answer that question in your own heart. Okay. So I will teach you food ingredient trade outs. I will teach you insulin smart supplementation. I will teach you how to address root causes like your gut, your liver, right? You have to address those root causes. And then I will help you empower yourself with your mindset. And this journey, I'm telling you, you guys, your testimonies, because of really like hanging on and doing the due diligence of every single month you're adding another win, your testimonies are phenomenal. Your stories are so great. Losing 40, 50 pounds, getting off of 10 meds. Like we have so many good stories, not diabetic put in your chart. Like you guys are doing the work. Okay. I'm just here to support you and encourage you and to help you along this journey because I didn't have anybody do that for me. Or maybe I should say better, I didn't choose to have anybody do it for me. I didn't choose. I could have paid more attention over the last 10 years to other people, but I kind of did it my own way. May or may not be a little stubborn, just saying, but it worked. Okay, so let's dive into the examples. I really love talking about stuff like this because it's very helpful to get you to make these connections, because without these connections, maybe you just sit around and go, what's wrong with me? And that's where I was. In fact, I said it to my husband all the time. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And he'd be like, nothing is wrong with you. Stop it. And the first one on the list is the one that really, really flipped me over. And it made me feel very vulnerable and not knowing what to do. Okay. So number one, brain fog and memory as a sign of maybe I shouldn't say out of control, but out of sync blood sugars. Okay. Insulin resistance issues. And remember, you can be insulin resistant for years and decades before you ever even know that it's raising your blood sugar. Did you know this? They're not pulling a fasting insulin test. This is why you and we are going to, thank you so much, you guys. Jump on in from the balcony on TikTok. This is how you and I can join forces and actually take back our health and decide that we are smart enough to figure this out. It doesn't need answers that aren't getting us anywhere or complicated answers, okay? So, hi, Phyllis. Nice to meet you. Your boyfriend has diabetes. His blood sugar is 6.4. What can he eat? He doesn't eat fruit or vegetables. I'm disabled, so you don't cook. You know what? Really focus on protein. Lots and lots of protein. Meat, eggs, full-fat dairy, things like that. That would be very helpful. He doesn't have to eat fruit and vegetables to turn back his blood sugar. I mean, you can eat those for other reasons, but that's not a part of it. Really stabilizing your blood sugar is meat and eggs really stabilizes your blood sugar for food. So brain fog and poor memory. So this is why though, like track with the why, because I'm convinced if you know the why, then you'll take the action. Insulin plays a role in brain signaling and plasticity. When insulin is present, and remember your insulin is high before it shows up in your blood sugars, brain cells may not get enough energy, which can lead to foggy thinking, memory issues, and even increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. Some call it type 3 diabetes. So my mother, who was Swedish and did not have type 2 in her family, ended up with dementia, and we took care of her for the last 5 years of her life, my sister and I. Okay? And so I am so not interested in that journey. I was a little too close to it, if you know what I mean. So number 2, sleep apnea and snoring. Did you know that this is a sign of insulin resistance? So anybody who's on a CPAP, or you know of somebody who's on a CPAP, share out this information. Insulin resistance, this is why, okay? Track. It increases inflammation and fat deposition around the neck and the tongue, contributing to obstructive sleep apnea. Poor sleep then worsens the insulin resistance, and you have a cycle going on like this. Okay? Insulin resistance increases inflammation and fat depositing, right, of fat around the neck and the tongue, contributing to obstructive sleep apnea. Poor sleep then worsens insulin resistance. And we've talked about this before. Did you know that if you have, yes, fatty liver is a definite connection. And I talk about that, especially with the supplementation. I have really good supplementation to help with visceral fat. But if you have 1 night of sleep, your insulin resistance and your cortisol is up. 5 nights in a row, you've really increased your risk of type 2 diabetes by quite a bit, actually. So that whole sleep thing, man, this is a cycle. You got to fix your sleep. We talked about that just a little bit yesterday. And I was talking about, the thought process of good morning, Patty. Good morning, Terry, of making sure that you take care of your sleep. And I take care of mine. And if you need to know what I use, just reach out to me and I'll send you a cart with both of them in it. I take a magnesium and an ashwagandha, 2 and 2 every single night. Love that formula for me. Really has changed my sleep a lot. Number 3, irritability, anxiety, and mood swings. You can blame it all on insulin resistance now. Forgive me for being so moody. It's my insulin resistance. I think it probably wouldn't go very far with the people that we love. But many do not connect your blood sugar dysregulation with emotional regulation. But insulin resistance can lead to crashes in blood sugar, causing that mood swings, lower serotonin production in the gut because of gut imbalance, and cortisol elevation, worsening anxiety and belly fat. You guys, it's all connected. It's all connected. I know that you're going to one doctor because of your anxiety, and you're going to another doctor because of your gut, and then you're going to another doctor because of your sugars, and then you're going to another. I understand that's what they have you doing. I get it. But what if we could decide that we're going to take care of our body like holistically in thought process, even if you have been the worst sugar addict ever, even if you have never taken a supplement before, even if you have never done any research on this, even if you have just been a matrix bystander for a really, really, really long time. You can listen to a message that will tell you that this is 100% reversible. In my opinion, I'm not a doctor, but you can go and you can study people like Dr. Ken Berry and Dr. Kiltz, who helps women who are infertile. He does carnivore. Now, I'm not a carnivore, but I'm just telling you, you can change your blood sugar levels. This is not a terminal diagnosis, okay? Is it okay to eat all that protein and a full fat dairy with fatty liver? Yes, because fatty liver is not created because of animal protein at all. Like, that's not how this happens. What happens is this. Let me share just really briefly so that everybody can get a picture of what is happening in your body, okay? So you are eating food, and your food is, you're not insulin resistant yet, okay? You're not even total insulin resistant at all. You're eating food, and your body turns your food into glucose so that your pancreas can release insulin and go and get that glucose and take it into your cell, and it gives your cell energy, and your body goes, yay, we have energy. That's what is supposed to happen. Over time, because of our standard American diet, because of the chemicals, because of the seed oils, because of the overeating, because of the high carbohydrates in everything, literally, like we went from like, we took all the fat out of our food back in the 90s, if you remember correctly, 80s and 90s, and they added sugar. So now you're spiking and spiking and spiking and spiking, and your pancreas is releasing and releasing and releasing. And it's trying to keep up, and it's trying to keep up. And all these trucks are going to pick up the glucose and bring them into your cell. And after a while, you become resistant and you don't even know it. And what does that mean? It means that your cell is resistant to the insulin trying to bring sugar into the cell for fuel. It's just fuel. And it doesn't mean you ate sugar. It just means that what you ate raise the blood sugar for energy. Okay. Like, if you are low energy, oftentimes think about this, you'll grab something that's a carbohydrate, you'll grab something that's a sugary drink because you need a boost of energy. But when you're insulin resistant, it doesn't work so well. So your cell, the door is closed. See you later, alligator. I don't want any insulin or sugar in my cell anymore. I am resistant. I changed the lock. Okay. So your pancreas keeps on releasing insulin because it thinks maybe it didn't send you enough. Up goes your inflammation. Okay. Now you have extra everything in your system, and it is a fat storing hormone. Where does it store fat? In the liver, around your organs. This is why your belly gets bigger. The belly fat issue, it's all insulin resistance. Do you understand? So it's not eating meat that's raising your sugars too high and your insulin can't deal with it. Meat makes your meat or full fat dairy that's unsweetened and you're sweetening it yourself. That raises your blood sugar just a little bit for energy. And your blood sugars go like this. I mean, balanced. I just got done eating 3 eggs and a chicken sausage and an oikos Greek yogurt. So let me think here. 13, 18, I have to add it up. So 13, 18, and 15. This was actually a high protein breakfast. So basically nothing that would raise my sugars hardly at all. 11 and 5 is 16, 46 grams of protein just for my breakfast. Now, the reason why I do that is because I front load protein in the morning like that. So 3 eggs, a chicken sausage. It's a really good one. It's called Amy Lou, and it's andouille sausage. I get it at Costco. So it's clean ingredients. It's really good. And that's 13 grams of protein, and then an Oikos yogurt, sugar-free. I normally haven't been buying those at all, but if I'm not mistaken, they're sweetened with stevia. I grabbed them because my grandsons were coming over, and they're really good. So anyway, so I thought, okay, I'll just add that on. 46 grams of protein. My goal for protein every day is my goal weight. Okay. My blood sugars will stay stable. I will be satiated and full for hours, not needing to eat again and calling on insulin again. So understand the process. Okay. So that's what's happening. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. So no, animal products are not causing fatty liver. Overconsumption of carbohydrates over a long period of time when you are insulin resistant, especially once that creates insulin resistance. But then once you are insulin resistant, now you need to do things differently. And I can tell you all about, and I'll bring it up at the end. I mean, the trio that I talk about that deals with the liver, the gut protocol that deals with the liver, the orange pixie stick that deals with the liver. Like there's a way to turn things around. I'm just letting you know it exists. But we have to have proper information. Otherwise, we keep listening to the matrix and we are fatter than we've ever been, sicker than we've ever been, and more medicated than we've ever been. How you doing? How we doing? This is why you and I get together and we chat about this, because they're giving us really, 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 really bad information all the time. You can have 45 grams of carbs at every single meal, even though you're a type 2 diabetic. We're just going to increase that medication dosage. Oh, no problem. I actually have somebody that told me she was really mad. She went to the doctor and she said, I'm having a hard time keeping my sugars down. I'm a type 2 diabetic. What are you eating? This is what I'm eating. Here's my list. Oh, you're totally fine. Oh, honey, you just need to go from the pill to the injection of insulin. I'm not kidding you. Real conversation. This is trash advice. Okay. They're telling you bad things. They don't know they're telling you. Not everybody knows. I mean, they're just not trained at all in this. It's ridiculous. I got that yogurt. You're welcome. I got it at Costco. So I bought a case of it, but I'm sure you can get it anywhere. It's Oikos, OS. And it's Greek yogurt, high protein. I think it's sweetened with stevia. Like, double check on that. I don't want to give you bad advice on that. Okay, so we just did the irritability, anxiety, and mood swings. And what's happening is your blood sugar is crashing. You are lowering your serotonin. Your serotonin mostly is created in your gut, thus the gut primer that I talk about. So if you're wanting to feel good and stop having sadness, you have to deal with your gut, right? And cortisol elevation. And when which is worsening your anxiety and your belly fat. So you can get a cortisol belly, you can have an insulin belly. Well, if your liver is functioning properly, it will dump excess cortisol. So love your liver. Love your liver. That is one of the biggest answers. Gum disease, number 4, high blood sugar from insulin resistance fuels bacteria in your mouth, contributing to inflammation and gum disease. My dad had really bad gum disease. Conversely, gum disease can worsen your insulin resistance by increasing systemic inflammation. Your oral health is like, boom, so important. And guess what? Guess what's helping? Oral health, liver health. It looks like a greens product, but it's a gut primer. It's a powder. Oral health, liver health, oral health, liver health. I wish that I could explain. I've had a lot done to my teeth. I had a lot of root canals when I was in my 20s, and then they don't last forever. And so even I still take really good care of my teeth. And I did have a sensitivity that was going on, some inflammation in one of my teeth. When I started using the gut primer, it went away. I was like, dang, because there are alkaline spices in there that are helping your oral health. It literally says on the website, oral health, liver health. Just pointing that out there. So skin takes and dark patches, like around your neck, usually, that's number 5. These are surprisingly common physical signs of insulin resistance, especially in women and children, but they are often ignored or treated cosmetically without addressing the root cause. So interesting. So interesting. Number 6, PCOS without cysts. And this is what that means. Sharon, good morning. Tammy, good morning. Good to see you. Oh, Sharon, I'm so glad. She says, good information, Kirsten. Good morning. Yay. I'm so glad that it's helping you. That makes me happy. It's very important. Like, think about how simplistic this is. But you can go to your provider for years and decades on end and never hear any of this. Why is this not a chart on the wall in the doctor's office? Why is this not a poster? How hard would it be to create a poster and to give you real information? It's just a question. I'm just curious. So many women are diagnosed with PCOS. If you know of somebody, she might want to hear some of this, without ever having ovarian cysts. Okay. The driver, insulin resistance, which causes high testosterone, irregular cycles, acne, and facial hair. Okay. No cysts on your ovaries, but you have PCOS, high testosterone, it's insulin resistance, high testosterone, irregular cycles, acne, and facial hair. Okay. Chronic inflammation and joint pain. Inflammation cytokines triggered by insulin resistance can lead to chronic pain, stiffness, or worsening of autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. Okay. And I will tell you, if you need something that is an alternative to ibuprofen, if you need an alternative to that, I don't know if you know this or not, but most turmeric in general is not very bioavailable. It doesn't get into your system. We want it to, but it's just not. I actually have one that is 45 times more absorbent than what's on the shelf out there. So if you need to know about that, let me know. I take 2 every single night so that while I'm sleeping, inflammation is decreasing. I mean, it's really quite a phenomenal product. You can always let me know. Number 8, difficulty handling stress. Insulin resistance alters cortisol rhythms. Okay. This is super important because if you're somebody that just has anxiety, you have some anxiety going on and you're just not dealing with stress very well. When I was in my 40s and my insulin resistance was really kind of rearing its head, but I did not know any of this. I wish I would have had this poster. I didn't have any of this. Had I understood what was happening, I could have identified and not felt shame for the anxiety, not felt shame for the inability to handle stress. Okay. So this is why the mindset that I try to give you on a regular basis, like in the group or in a challenge or one-on-one when we're chatting, I want you to understand that you can do this entire journey without any shame. Okay. So insulin resistance is altering your cortisol rhythms and it blunts the body's stress response, making it harder to recover from stress emotionally and physically. It's making it harder. I have a paused due to poor connection on Instagram. Sorry. Okay. So that's what's happening with insulin resistance. So if you recognize that, then you can do things like, okay, Kirsten, I'm having a hard time handling stress. What do you think would help me? And I would probably say to you, well, we can start with your gut, but you can also add in things like, I have an amazing magnesium, ashwagandha. We can have the probiotic that I would recommend is a stress relief probiotic. Like there are things that you can do to get your body to level up. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, okay, there she is. There she is. Okay, thought I lost her for a minute. That's how we feel inside. Sometimes we're like, where did my old me go? I don't know. Do you ever feel that way or have you ever felt that way? I know I have for sure. That was me in my mid 40s, big time, mid to upper 40s when I was like, what is happening? Because perimenopause, again, I was paying no attention. I was not paying any attention. Number 9 out of 10, loss of smell or taste. What? Why would that be connected to insulin resistance? Some research links metabolic dysfunction, which is what we're talking about, right? Including insulin resistance to olfactory decline, which may also be an early warning sign of cognitive decline when you can't smell or taste very well anymore. Isn't that interesting? And the last one, obesogen exposure. Who knows this one? I've actually done lives on this before. Exposure to chemicals in plastics, personal care products, food packaging can trigger or worsen insulin resistance by disrupting your hormones. These are called obesogens, and they are sneaky. They are sneaky. And if you think about it, think about how we have taken our daughters and we have put them on. Melissa, good morning. Good to see you. Good to see you. And we've taken them to, like, it's a rite of passage to go to Bath and Body Works and get all the lotions and all the, or the, white, is it White Barn? Whatever it is, all the candles and all the trash. We did this years ago with our sons, and we told them to spray and put Axe all over them. Total trash, like messing with hormones. And think about that, at 13 years old, we're taking our daughters, and for me and you, it was probably Love's Baby Soft, right? But point being that, like, now it's the mall, like, let's go to the mall and bring our little girlfriends, and we're going to do a sleepover, and we'll do the lotions and the potions and the candles and it's like, here you go, here's some hormone disruption. Happy birthday, honey. That's what we're doing. Think about this. And then we have them rub it all over their bodies, all over the biggest organ that they have, the skin. And it's just playing a piece. It's not solely responsible, but it is playing a piece to all of this hormone disruption in these girls. It's a big issue. Okay. And we don't need all of that hormone. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you. I so appreciate you. Think about what we've done with our young boys all those years. Have another bottle of Axe, honey. I mean, honestly, we're not thinking clearly, but it's because we've been marketed to, and things have just been allowed. And so, you know what? Nobody's going to tell you that their product is toxic. Nobody's going to make that TV commercial. Here, even though it's toxic, buy it because it smells good. Like, nobody's going to do that, right? But now we are waking up. We're like, oh, why are all of these ingredients banned in, Europe, these different chemicals and whatnot, and they aren't here? That kind of a thought process, right? So anyway, so those are the 10. Hold on. Let me see here. So quick recap: brain fog. These are signs of insulin resistance that you may or may not have heard of. Brain fog, sleep apnea, snoring. Remember, share this out if you know somebody that needs to hear this. Mood swings and anxiety, gum disease, skin tags and dark patches, PCOS even without ovarian cysts, joint pain and inflammation, stress intolerance, loss of smell or taste, and obesogens from products and plastics. Have you experienced any of these? Which ones are like, ooh, yeah, this one. And that is how we end up talking all the time about how to recalibrate our gut, how to turn back our insulin resistance. You have to, I can't tell you how many times. I'm just going to be really bold with you here for just a moment. Many times, because I'm in my DMs a lot, and I'm talking to people who are, they have not connected with me yet. They're not a customer yet. And so we're talking about what's going on with them. Okay. And I'll say, have you used targeted supplementation for insulin resistance yet? And they'll say, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm taking supplements and I'm taking this, and this. And it might be like I'm taking a turmeric, which is good if it's absorbable. I'm taking a turmeric. I'm taking a vitamin D, and I'm trying to think of what else would I hear that's kind of common. I was going to say multivitamin, but I don't even think I hear that very often. Just something kind of like whatever. It's not specific enough. That is not specific. Those are helpers. Those are helpers for symptoms. Vitamin D is very helpful for anybody who is diabetic. I have a phenomenal vitamin D, like sourced from mushrooms, blah, blah, blah. So very important. But there are steps that you can take that are way more specific than that. And so for the person who doesn't know how to be very specific for insulin resistance, or for the person who, let's say maybe the only one that you've really tried is berberine. I've never done berberine. I don't have it in my line. It just wasn't available 10 years ago. Nobody was talking about it. But I have a lot of people who are doing berberine, and it's just not enough. It's just not enough to really completely give your body the raw materials that it needs. So when I talk to you about supplementation, what I want to talk to you about is let's lift up the hood of your car, the hood of your body, and let's give your body the raw materials that it needs so that it can fire back up again, so the connections can be made again. Does that make sense? So if you have a leaky gut and you're spilling out all of your nutrients because insulin resistance creates leaky gut, and so therefore your body can't function, it's just like the oil is leaking out of your car. Let's think of it that way, like you're losing your fluids. Well, your car is going to be like, it's not going to run. That's the same thing that's happening. So we have to maybe heal and seal the gut, right? That's where I talk about the gut reset protocol. Maybe you have deficiencies in some trace minerals that are pretty simplistic, but that you really do need to get your body up and running again. That's the trio. The trio are the 3 supplements that have the 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. And a part of the trio is not just the trace minerals, but it's going to help your liver. And remember, your liver governs the glucose in your blood and it governs the hormones in your body. And maybe you're thinking like, my metabolism sucks. Yeah, I understand. But that's a part of the trio too. So bringing down sugars, insulin, but bringing up function of liver and metabolism. Okay. And then when I talk about visceral fat, she had talked about fatty liver. And it's like, this is so common. You just have no idea because it's all connected. See all these pieces? It's all connected. There is no silo. And yet we're going to our providers and we're getting silo information. I mean, honestly, it is absolutely ridiculous how they have us running from one doctor to another doctor to another doctor to another doctor to get a different prescription for each one when it's all connected. This is why so many are now trying to find functional doctor information. Like, can we talk about it all, how it's connected? Because it is. And let's stop this insanity of doctor appointments and different scripts, et cetera. Like, it gets to be way too much. And then we don't have any, answers. We walk away without answers. Michelle, good to see you. What did I say? What's a blessing, Michelle? Tell me what's a blessing. You have quite a few of those, Melissa. Yep. But you can do this. You can look at this all in whole, okay? All in whole. I promise you. I have so many testimonies. I just can't. Sometimes I literally, I say this a lot, but I'm working on it. I'm working on trying to dissect all of the testimonies that I have and get them into a place that is more helpful for you to see. Because right now, the place that I have a lot of my testimonies, and I don't even think they're updated because, again, it's just, there's a lot. It's just the way that it is. I actually have a website and it's my first and last name.com. So it's KIRSTEN. So Kirsten Liebelt. Kirsten is like the American Girl doll. And Liebelt looks like lie down, belt around your waist, Liebelt. KirstenLiebelt.com is what it looks like. And when you go to that, it's just a very simplistic website, a handful of buttons, nothing complicated. But what I do want to show you on it is this. I want you to see how you can find the testimonies, but you can also find the Facebook group. It's deciding whether or not it wants to be connected to the internet here, I think. There it is. My picture. Just like that, my picture, okay? So the first button says you can text me. The second button is the Facebook group. The third button is a free protein guide. The fourth button is the trio. And then right underneath that, testimonials. And trust me. Take time for you. It's a Google sheet. And look at the testimonies. Because maybe you're sitting there going, listen, there's so much noise out there and I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of the noise. I'm tired of being told, just add fiber. Don't learn how to actually fish. Just add fiber, or here's another med, or you're maybe 2 steps away from having to accept medication as your answer. I know this is what's in your head because this is what's in my inbox. over and over and over and over and over again. They want to put me on this. They want to put me on this. They want, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I've got to get my A1C down or else I've got to do. That's where the trio comes in. This is why I'm not confused. I started this a little over 10 years ago. It has supported me in losing 3 sizes in my 50s. I was a 2X going into my 50s, and now I'm a large. And I've also avoided type 2. I'm the only person in my immediate family that did. And I'm 60 and no meds. So this is where all of you that are saying, I don't know what to do about my A1C, or they want to put me on meds, or I've got to figure this out, whatever. This is where you want to start, is the trio. 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity, okay? And by the way, all new customers until the end of May, I'm putting together a sampler packet for you, and I'm mailing it out, and it will have a measuring tape in it for you, okay? That's just one of the things. The second piece is the gut primer. You guys, and I know I talk about these every single day, but I'm a broken record. Looks like a greens product, but it's not. It's 6 products in one. The reason why it's helping you so much with your liver, listen, if you've had your gallbladder taken out, pay attention, okay? Helping with your liver. It's helping with your oral health. It has the fermented greens for your liver to do exactly what you need, but not just greens, fermented greens, so that they are bioavailable and they are tender on your digestive system, so that you can actually begin to see change without chaos in your GI tract, okay? Alkaline spices helps you with your oral health and keeping an alkaline environment in your body. We know the difference between alkaline and acidic environments now, don't we? We know this. And if you can begin to heal and seal your gut, you can have better nutrient absorption. You can have better moving the impacted waste through your body, lack of indigestion, like leveling up your liver health. There are so many pieces to this puzzle that you probably don't even know. I have people that have constipation, short gut syndrome, you name it, and then add a probiotic. The balance is the one that I use, and so you can always ask me about this one too. But it's all on my website. This one is 5 alive. They are alive strains that you put on your tongue every morning, okay? And then the last piece that I talk about, and you know, people that do all of this, it's the total body reset. People who do all of this get really amazing results if you're looking to accelerate. You don't have to, though. You start where you can, and then partner up with me. Let's lock arms. Let's partner up. You start where you can and where you want to, because you may be just like me and never having taken a supplement before, and you're like, oh, Lord, okay, how am I even going to do that? Like, I wasn't a supplementer either. But this is the body, this is the visceral fat burner. You guys, I love talking about the inches that people lose. I really do. I love talking about the pounds that people lose and the inches and the body composition changing. But if this can help you with visceral fat, that's where it's the most important, because it is alive and it is active. It is emitting hormones. Your visceral fat is emitting hormones in your body. It's emitting inflammation. Like, talk about being on a hamster wheel. You're trying to deal with stuff, but if you don't deal with what's way down deep inside in your trunk, that's a big piece of the puzzle as to why you're not able to actually make headway. And you end up living on, NSAIDs, which is just horrible for your liver. So those kind of all together. So my point being, as we wrap up today, those are the 3 components I talk about the most. I do have other things that represent help for your sleep, represent help for your anxiety, or for your hormones if you need that. That's a little different. Adaptogenic herbs. I do have pieces of the puzzle. I literally have done all of this for 10 years now. Like, I have sculpted and curated my own routine for me, and it has afforded me now the ability to travel without swollen ankles and be down on the floor with my grandsons, and to be able to have energy to keep up during the day, for whatever it is. Like, I am creating the life that I want, just simply because I started viewing everything through the lens of insulin resistance. So some of you are going to reach out to me and you're going to say, I want a cart with the trio in it, those 3 supplements that help with insulin sensitivity. Some of you are going to reach out and say, I want a cart with that gut reset protocol, the primer and the probiotic. And some of you are going to say, I just want that fat burner. I want to know about that fat burner. Okay. And then I can give you some information, give you direct access to that, etc. Some of you will say, I want the total body reset. I want all of that in one cart. And just because you get it in one cart doesn't mean you have to purchase it that way, but it's just all in one place so that then you can pick and choose. Okay. But bigger than that, you can always reach out to me. Just know that instead of buying from a Facebook ad or instead of buying from an Amazon find or a one-off this or a one-off that, being able to journey with somebody, like when I do my monthly 5-day challenges, and to have somebody on here like she is right now, I believe, 16 in a row. Do you understand? That means that she's been journeying. We've been journeying together for 16 months. Like, hello, isn't that what we've always wanted? We've wanted to be able to have somebody to actually ask questions to and help us to tweak and to journey with and to get information from as we go, as we're learning the new language, as we're trading out an ingredient, as we're trying to find a new recipe, as we're, maybe we're having some mental struggles and what can you recommend for that? Isn't that what you wanted this whole time? I know that that's what I had wanted. But I was too scared, number one. And I also was, I was kind of too, what's my word? I was probably dealing with my own shame over things. And so I wasn't readily talking about stuff with people, right? Because there was a lot of shame associated as I was growing up. So it was manja, eat. But then, you should probably lose a few pounds. And then when you lost weight, don't you get too skinny now. That was my upbringing, just like a whiplash. And so I had to deal with my own stuff up here. And you maybe have to too, right? But you can. Oh, you can. All right, so I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then we will be off on Monday for Memorial Day, okay? And don't forget, put it in your calendar that the next challenge in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, starts on Monday, June 2nd. And I will go live at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. No sign up, just show up. Okay, but you have to really put alarms in your phone because Facebook notifications are this. Facebook group notifications are this. We may or may not, probably won't tell you. That's just the way that it is. So you have to take control of it yourself so that you can know when I'm live and we're doing all the things. And you'll learn everything that you probably needed to know to get started with trading out your food ingredients, how to fix your pantry, how to target your supplementation further if that's what you're needing, a recipe for you to make, and all brand new customers between now and the end of the month. I am putting together a packet for you and I will send it out to you, okay? Because you need to be able to have victory over the summer. Summer can get away from us and it can be like a runaway train. And if you're going to make that decision to not let it be a runaway train, then I'm going to make the decision to support you the best way that I can. Okay, so you'll get something from me in the mail. All right, have such a great day. The best day on the face of the planet, okay? Be super blessed, you guys. See you tomorrow.